Hey everybody, it's Mark, DoctorDeadwax here, and tonight we're enjoying once again the Creemore Springs Keller beer unfiltered, and we're enjoying it in a lovely sleeve that my cousin walked out of a bar with 17 years ago, and it's been doing its job ever since. Not once has a beverage ever leaked out of the bottom. Cheers. So tonight I got a stack of records here. I don't know, what should we do? Should I tell you it's going to take me 3 minutes to do them and then spend 22 minutes doing it? That way you'll stay? I'll be done in 3. First one is Gentle Giant, The Missing Piece. This is The Giant, I guess. This is a bit of a prog classic. Gentle Giant, classic prog band. Everybody loves them. This is Canadian pressing on Capitol with the Vanity label. I'm not overly familiar with Gentle Giant. It's not a prog band I've really got a lot of. I have 1 or 2 other albums of theirs, but I've never cleaned them yet to listen to them. This is the first one, and I don't know why, but I had a little listener fatigue while I was listening to this, so I don't know what that was, if that was me or if that was the music, so I'll have to go back and give that another listen, but it seemed like fairly decent prog, so I'm not going to actually slam it. Next is Steve Hackett, Please Don't Touch. This is on Charisma, but it's made by GRT in Canada, and that's the Mad Hatter. Hackett was in Genesis. He's got a lot of great players on this album, including one Chester Thompson, who was the tour drummer for Genesis, and when Phil Collins left the band after he'd been tour drumming for Genesis for like a quarter century, Tony Banks and Mike Rutherford said, "No, you can't join, but we're going to take this other guy in as a singer." So Chester told him to. Anyway, this is a decent album. Acoustic guitar, electric guitar, proggy. You know, if you like Genesis, if you like Steve Hackett's guitar playing, this has everything that you're going to like. And so that's that. Both of those were from a part of a 3 for $5 buy. 2 different 3 for $5 buys at 2 different record shows around here locally. Next up is Ravi Shankar in New York, and this is on World Pacific, which is a division of Liberty Records. And this is excellent. I bought a bunch of Ravi Shankar records one day. They came into a place that I buy from. They were all really clean. Here's the World Pacific label for you. This record sounds fantastic, and the music is excellent, and I would highly recommend it. I paid $4 for that, so it was an excellent deal. I'm not overly knowledgeable in Indian music or the different types of Indian music, but I really enjoyed it. Next, an artist I've been getting into lately, Hugh Masekela. Just kind of been buying everything I could see of his. This is 1968, I believe, The Promise of the Future on, this is on Uni. I talked about another Hugh Masekela record, Hugh Masekela's next album, which was from 1966, a couple years earlier, that I wasn't overly fond of. It was poppy and kitschy. This one he's kind of moving into the jazz realm. He's working with the Hugh Masekela Quintet by this period, and this is really starting to get somewhere. I recommend this. I think this is a Hugh Masekela record worth owning. It's not a masterpiece. It's not a monster yet, but it has periods where it hits, like it gets really close. It really hits it every so often, and I don't know. I paid $10 for this, and I would pay $10 for this any day. This is a fantastic U.S. pressing on Uni. And if you see this, buy this. This is part of the better part of the journey, I would say. Next is another one. This is a $2 fine from a store I go to that sells scratch records cheap, and this thing ticks a couple times through it, but the scratches really don't take away from it. This is Love In, the Charles Lloyd Quintet, recorded live at the Fillmore Auditorium in San Francisco. Look, fantastic psychedelic cover, monster lineup here. Charles Lloyd, Ron McClear, Jack DeJohnette, and Keith Jarrett. I mean, this is Keith Jarrett playing on other people's records before he was 1967, before he was you know, too busy putting out 90 albums or whatever he's done. This is Atlantic Mono with the purple and red label. There's a shot of the band there, and this is excellent. This, you know, it's a live record, live jazz. You know, it has all that it should. I'd like to find some of the studio albums that are from this period from Charles Lloyd, just so I can hear the studio takes of these and where this stuff was coming from. Next is a monster motherfucker of an album. This is Johnny Guitar Watson, A Real Mother For You, and this is a real mother. This is an awesome album. This is on DJM. This is a Canadian pressing on DJM, done by GRT Records of Canada, and this is just fantastic. This is funky. It's got a ton of bottom end. It's driving. It's just everything you could want from a funk album. Just smoking. This is another one of the 3 for $5 records I picked up from a show earlier this year in March. So this was a total score. This is $10 or $15 album. Honestly, it just keeps going. It never stops. So that one I highly recommend. This is one I bought only because people talk about it in the VC. I don't know if they talk about it seriously or jokingly, but Sailcat, Motorcycle Mama. I've seen people show this and talk about this. This is on Elektra. It's got this great cartoon, comic book kind of storyline that kind of goes with different songs in here. This is on Elektra, and this was another record in a 3 for $5 buy. This one has, other than a huge scratch across it that is never heard once, which is just the perfect record because it goes for fuck all and it plays perfectly. This thing is just about near mint. The cover is just crisp, a little bit of ring wear, but for all you people that love pretty things, this is about as pretty as they get. This is really cool music. I never heard this. When I was listening to it, I did recognize the song Motorcycle Mama from radio. It's kind of like a concept album about people who ride motorcycles or guys who ride Harleys, and some people say it's a little misogynistic because at the end of it, he's sitting on his porch here and his wife and his daughter are out hoeing and hanging the laundry. I don't know. This was actually kind of cool. It's kind of proggy. It's concept album. It's like prog folk at times. It's pretty excellent for $1.66. I'll listen to it a few times. Next is the Jazz Crusaders on Pacific Jazz. Talk That Talk. And just show you the label here. I like the Jazz Crusaders. I'm a fan of the Jazz Crusaders. I'm not a fan of the Crusaders. I think they got a little syrupy and a little schmaltzy, but there's the Pacific Jazz label. And this is a US pressing. I got this for a couple bucks. Some excellent, it's kind of like a 5-piece that is playing with like a stage band, or that kind of a small big band. So it's got a really tight 5-piece groove going on with a big sound around it. It's excellent. These early Jazz Crusaders records are completely undervalued, and if you see them, I recommend you pick them up. Next, I couldn't resist this. Nancy Wilson, Hollywood My Way, still in the shrink, first pressing. I mean, look at her, she's gorgeous. Look at this dress. She's a star, and she's standing on a star. This is fantastic. Just excellent covers of show tunes or songs from movies, actually. And this was a pristine pressing on Rainbow Capital. I like Nancy Wilson. Sorry, I love any of the great female vocalists, and I don't know if you see this. There's also another one called Broadway Bound, I think it is, which is from the same year, and it's her doing covers of Broadway tunes. So I'm going to keep my eye out for that. What a great album. Next is one of my kind of personal grails. I've been looking for this for a long time. This is Jan Garbarek and the Bobo Stenson Quartet with Palle Danielson and Jan Christensen, and this is Wichita Toe, and this is a classic on ECM. This is one of the giants from the ECM label, this record. I mean, Cold Concert is the largest selling ECM record of all time with Keith Jarrett, but this one's pretty. I don't think it's as big a seller, of course, by any means, but this is still, it's an awesome record, awesome, highly regarded pieces of music, and this is a must-have. If you had to pick in the top 25 ECM records, this would easily be on the top 25, probably easily on the top 10. I've been looking for this for a long time. I have a digital copy of it, and it's just great music. Powerful, and I'm just thrilled to find it. This is an early US pressing. This one's from 1974, and this is an early one when it was still being distributed by Polydor. I recommend it. If you see Wichita Toe, grab it. Next is Tom Waits, Swordfishtrombone, or Swordfishtrombone. This is the first US pressing. Comes with the lovely lyric sheet. And first US pressing on Island. And the reason why I grabbed this is because it is a first. And I don't know if you can see it here. Let's see if we can make it show up. But this is mastered by Ken Dunn. No, I don't think I can get it to show. This is mastered by Ken Dunn, and Ken Dunn is Kent Duncan. And he's one of the great mastering engineers, like Wally or Porky or TML. Just one of the greats. And you'll often like a lot of the stuff on Mushroom, a lot of the stuff from Heart is Ken Dunn. You'll see his name. If you see Ken Dunn in the Deadwax, that's just another one to buy. I mean, he'll have done the early plates of any good record. I think Ken Dunn did the first Fleetwood Mac plate for Rumors. And so just another one whose stuff you should buy, because later on, you know, of course, it won't have his, it won't be him in a later plate. It'll be it'll just be some complete and utter hack who doesn't know what they're doing. Interesting on this is in the Deadwax there's an inscription that says for Kathleen and Kelly Simone. And Kathleen was his wife and Kelly Simone was his daughter. He married his wife in 1980. I think he had his daughter shortly after that. And this record's from 1983. This is just a perfect near mint copy. The cover, I would say, is, you know, highly unusual for any record I would buy. It's not at all pooched. I paid real money for this. I paid $15, so I was really happy to pick it up. Sounds gorgeous. It's a really interesting album. I've known this record for years. Friends of mine had it when I lived with them. We listened to it a lot. I rather enjoy it, so I was really happy to find a first pressing of that. And finally, Stephen Reich and John Adams. Stephen Reich, Variations for Wind, Strings, and Keyboards, and John Adams, Shaker Loops. And this is directed by Ido DeWart. He directed the San Francisco Symphony, and this is the first recordings. This is a Philips Digital Classics. So this was the first recording of, sorry, this is also a Dutch pressing. So this cost me $10 at a show. Excuse me. If you like Stephen Reich's, like Mike, if you like Stephen Reich's music for 18 musicians, you'll like the Variations for winds, strings, and keyboards. And John Adams' Shaker Loops is excellent too. These, I believe, are the first recordings of these two particular pieces of music, and have subsequently been recorded by other bands since then. Dead Mint pressings on the Philips label. Not a huge fan of digital recordings, not a huge fan of CDs on vinyl, but this sounds great. Dead quiet, so it's just perfect. So anything Steve Reich for me is a bit of a grail too, so to find another Steve Reich record that I really enjoy was great fun. Anyway, that's everything I'm going to show tonight. We're at like 18.5 minutes. Hope you enjoyed it, and have a great day, and keep the record spinning.